Alright, so I did some changes to the deck since my last video. I guess it's obvious. I know 52 is a pretty scary number, but like, hear me out. Right now the deck has like a bunch of different ways to summon specifically Millennium-Eyes Illusionist, but like a lot of them can be used to also summon Mirror Jade, because like they kinda use the same material. These ways consist of, this is probably like the weirdest combo in this deck. It's a 1-card combo with Genex Undine, but it does require like 2 Garnets, Genex Controller and Rosenix. It's basically like you normal summon Undine, use the effect to send Rosenix to the graveyard and add Controller. Then you use Rosenix effect in the graveyard to banish itself, summon a token, use the token to link into Link Spider, and Link Spider effect to summon the Controller. Then Controller and Genex Undine is a level 6 synchro. Muddy Mud Dragon, then use Muddy Mud Dragon effect to fusion summon Millennium-Eyes Illusionist using both of these. You can also use the same 2 materials to fusion summon Mirror Jade, because you know this Muddy Mud Dragon works as a substitute for any monster whose name is specifically listed, so either Relinquished or Fallen of Albaz, and Link Spider is, well, it's a Link monster. So that's like Undine's combo. That's one combo in the bunch of you can do here. Of course, the most known one, Tour Guide from the Underworld. I think you probably already know this. You just normal summon Tour Guide, special summon Sangan, link both into Anaconda, and Sangan will search either one of the fusion substitutes for, you know, instead of Relinquished, or if you already have a substitute, then you can search for Millennium-Eyes Illusionist. If you already have Illusionist and a substitute, then you go for Faceless Magician. Another one is, you know, this is another weird one that I found, Rescue Cat. It's also a 1-card combo for the thing. It also has a good interruption. So you normal summon Rescue Cat, you tribute it to special summon Cerberus and Mystical Sheep number 1. This is a fusion substitute. So you link both into Anaconda again, and then you use Anaconda, send Relinquished Fusion to fusion summon or fuse Mystical Sheep with Rescue Cat to fusion summon Millennium-Eyes Illusionist. Now the cool thing is Cerberus has a graveyard effect, which is if you take any damage from battle or card effect, you can banish it from the graveyard and destroy one card on the field. So that's why like he was my choice with the Mystical Sheep. I also have this, you know, in case we like drew one of these 2, because they are Garnets. For this effect to happen, we need them in the deck. It doesn't summon them from the hand, sadly. So if we drew one of them with the cat, then we can summon like this guy. He literally has no use here. The only reason I put him is that he's a tuner, so at some situations, if we have another level 3 on the field, and we for some reason needed Muddy Mud Dragon, then it might be useful. But like usually there is no use for this card. It's also like a target for Small World. It kinda helps. Also Small World, if you didn't know, Ash bridges almost anything in this deck with everything else. Like it gets to almost all the cards you will ever need. So just, you know, Small World, any monster, Ash, then get any monster you want. And then there is the elephant in the room, the branded fusion. Well, it's 1-card comp, kinda 1 card. You do have to discard a card for Lobelian, but you branded fusion, send Albaz and one of your dark substitutes, so Versago or Dark Hex, and then you use Lobelian effect, discard whatever card in your hand and use the same two materials, which is Albaz and one of the substitutes, to summon Millennium-Eyes Illusionist. That's one way to do it. If you already have a substitute in your hand, then you don't need to send one with Albaz. You can send Illusionist with Photon of Albaz, use Lubelin effect to discard the material to the graveyard and then fuse with it. Millennium-Eyes Illusionist, when in the graveyard, it has an effect that when you summon Millennium-Eyes Restrict or Relinquished, it will bring itself back to your hand, so it basically recycles itself. So like that's one way to search it with Branded Fusion if you already have a substitute in your hand. Of course, the same thing applies for Faceless Magician. If you have Illusionist and a substitute in your hand or graveyard, then you can send Faceless Magician with Photon of Albaz and do the whole thing. If you have like Branded Fusion and Relinquished Fusion, you could Branded Fusion first, summon this, then use this effect and immediately chain Relinquished Fusion. Summon your Millennium-Eyes Restrict with the same material, then you can summon Mirror Jade, so you can have both. This is like, it's not, I can't really call it a combo, but 1-for-1 into Fusion Parasite. If you didn't know what this card does, basically it's a substitute basically, and it says if this card is special summoned, you can fusion summon one fusion monster from an extra deck. You need to use the monsters on the field. You can't use monsters in your hand or graveyard, but it's still good. Like if you have any monster on the field, you can use 1-for-1 special summon Fusion Parasite, fuse. I used to have Reasoning in the deck for like stuff like this, but I stopped including it because, for example, Undine doesn't activate the effect unless it is normal summoned. The same thing for Tour Guide, so I removed it. Anyway, keep in mind that this deck is still relinquished, so like don't expect it to take you to the moon, but this is as consistent as you can make relinquished be. So now I will show you some replays and talk over them for a bit. First match here, we have like a decent hand, of course. Going second with Maxx and Super Poly is very good. Maxx will get negated here. It's also Traptrix, so they weren't gonna special summon a lot probably. Still we have Super Poly, Tour Guide and the substitute. Alright, now it's our turn. Of course we will start with, obviously. Also, this is a pretty old replay, so it still has reasoning. But like don't mind it for now. Oh nice. We got another, like Versago is another substitute. We use Sangan to search Millennium-Eyes Restrict for the next turn. I assume you already know what this does, but if you don't, it's basically like a quick effect, suck one monster. So it's like one of the best cards in this deck. Anyway, Anaconda, use this to Millennium-Eyes. The fusion spell in the graveyard sucks a monster, and we attack. Okay, it's kind of funny that we can't get over this for now, but we have like good interruption. We have one. Right now we have one suck with this, another one with this, and if this gets destroyed, this will special summon itself from the graveyard. If it gets destroyed or sent to the graveyard in general, we will summon this guy again. Right, so that's this. Now one suck left. course we will take that. And they scoop. Alright, this is a duel where we are going first. We have Maxi and Ash, which is nice. And we have 2 starters and the Millennium-Eyes Illusionist. So like, this is a very good hand. Here I will use the Undine so you can see this weird combo. So Undine sends Rosenix and grabs Genex Controller. Rosenix effect in the graveyard to banish itself. Get a token into Link Spider effect, summon Controller, and synchro summon into Muddy Dragon. Muddy Dragon effect, fusion summon, Millennium-Eyes Illusionist. Now we have like Suck, another Suck, Ash, and Maxi. Oh, it's Darkworld. This was actually a really weird deck. I've never seen anyone play like this kind of deck. They had the Terrifying Toddler and like Grapha. I also like misplayed very much here. I should have used this first, like Millennium-Eyes Illusionist in the field to target Grapha. He would try to negate the effect with this guy. I then would have taken him with this, like sucked this guy with Millennium-Eyes. So this would get negated, and then this would get negated. But I did the opposite. I targeted this first. He tried to negate it. I instead took the guy in the graveyard. So this effect still applies, but this doesn't. I could have stolen both of them basically. And thankfully when he fusion summoned this guy, we drew Illusionist, so he summons it himself here. We would link into anything and he would go to the graveyard and summon Illusionist. He would summon Millennium-Eyes Illusionist again, which would trigger the Illusionist in the graveyard to return to the hand, and so on. Okay, this is a pretty good hand. Again, we have Sober Bully. Oh yeah, this was a very good duel. Okay, we have Sober Bully, we have 2 starters, Millennium-Eyes Illusionist, and an extender. Very good hand. Opponent is playing, Cyberse, Matchmech, and this guy. I'm gonna speed up here because he's gonna do a lot of stuff. Alright, Firewall, he has the Matchmech trap, I forgot the name, and a bunch of stuff. Oh, hold on. So first we summon Jester Confit to link into Anima to just try to steal this guy. Obviously it won't work, he will negate it somehow, but we're baiting. So he used that, negate, so now we can start playing. So here I was also by doing this, I was trying to bait this. So if he tried to banish any of these guys, I would immediately Sober Bully the one he's trying to banish with his Firewall, but he didn't. So it was kind of a problem, but we still will play around it. That's why with Sober Bully, I fused these 2 into Mud Dragon instead of the other guy to have protection from Kashtira Fenrir. So we'll use Dark. Now he can't target any of my monsters who are Dark, so this guy is basically dead on the field. We use Sangan to grab the Fusion Parasite material. Use Breadablant, fuse. And now we get Millennium-Eyes Restrict. Now it was a bit too late, like he definitely should have used this way earlier. I mean, like at least when I summoned Brittleblant. Now he has given me, like, I have this, also this. So it was a bad timing on his part. He goes for Lablation. Ablation effect. I bait the negate with this. He will try to negate. And I will use this. Double negate. Now he could use this because, you know, this is not a monster, so he could banish it. Thankfully we have this in the graveyard to steal his guy and attack. Alright, from this point we only have one suck, but like we pass through his board, so it's not that bad. He tried to use Sigma. I think it was a good idea to take this. Although a circular is pretty scary, but like he surrendered here for some reason, I think. Alright, he couldn't even send any other Sigma, so he can't, go to anything else. Even if he sent a Sigma, he can't activate the effect again. Now this was a loss, like I lost this duel, but I saved it because it's like one of my favorite duels I've played ever since. It's against ninjas, if you can't tell already. So first we use this to search for Illusionist, since we already have Branded Fusion, which is enough on its own to get Millennium-Eyes Restrict. We have Faceless Magician in the hand, and Illusionist, so it's perfect here. So Branded Fusion, send a Material and Albaz, Lobalian effect, discard this guy because obviously he is a free discard. He will do some shenanigans here. Getting his stuff ready for the monster I'm about to summon. Right now, a lot of things will happen here. It's a pretty long chain will happen. So he used this to try to book both these, and the ninja in the graveyard to book Millennium-Eyes Restrict. Now, the timing here is important, or like the order of activations, because Millennium-Eyes can only activate in response to an opponent's monster activation. And he is the only one that can steal from the graveyard, while Illusionist can be activated at any point and can only steal from the field. So if we went Illusionist first, we wouldn't be able to activate this. So this first, target the guy in the graveyard, Illusionist to target this. He tried to use this. I ashed. He Designator. Now I stopped here. I could have used Call by the Grave to banish this guy, but I didn't know that this card could summon from the graveyard, so I didn't see the point. Sadly, that cost us the game. That's why I lost this game. But still, it was a really nice chain, So he gets here, so I can't steal him with Millennium-Eyes, so that the effect will apply. Now this guy goes to the graveyard. Wait, this was Dragon Link when it was at its prime, before the bans, but Maxi, so he will just summon 2 seals and pass. Still, Ash and another starter, very good. Another alright, I removed this, it's not in the deck anymore. I removed it and replaced it with the dark one, so you won't see it in the recipe, but it's here. Use these two for one Millennium-Eyes. Sangan will search, of course, Illusionist. Although you could argue that this was a mistake, I should have probably like sent this with Branded Fusion, because since you searched it with Sangan, you can't activate its effect on this turn. So it's basically like dead in my hand until the next turn. While if I sent it with Branded Fusion and then summon another Millennium-Eyes Strict, it will come to my hand from the graveyard and I can still activate the effect. I sent Faceless Magician obviously because it's good to have in the graveyard. And Lubalin effect. Turn these two. Summon this Albaz. Of course, it's gonna try to Heretic. Do this. He's trying to dodge the steal here. Like if he did that, this would work, returning like one of my two monsters, and he will summon this. Now I tried to steal it with Millennium-Eyes, the other one. It's not a hard once per turn, each one has its own effect. He had another Bestial. For some reason he didn't target this again, I don't know why. Anyway, we pass turn. Now we have like 2 Sucks and Millennium-Eyes in hand. Ash for get space. We also have Faceless Magician in the graveyard, so it's looking good from here. If he tried to steal one of these two, like he would have been in a much better position. I don't know why he didn't. Okay, he had a negate for this, so we can't protect from this attack. This is another, like, this deck has 2 problems. One, like, no protection at all about or from spell effects, so if he used Traptrix to steal one, I had nothing to do to protect myself. The other problem is, this doesn't activate except in response to a monster activation, so if he just, goes battle, then nothing we can do. Anyway, he will destroy this. Faceless Magician activates, and that's his turn. Alright, it's our turn. He immediately tries to activate this. Use our bully right away. Discard this. We don't really need small board here, we have a really good hand. And take these 2 away. Mud Dragon for the protection again. Now I actually got a bit greedy in this game. Now I got rid of Mud Dragon, which gets rid of the protection, but I was pretty confident. I also wanted to steal his monsters. I wanted him to activate this so I could steal it, because if I still had Mud Dragon, he wouldn't have activated this, so it was nice. Now we use Relinquished Fusion, summon another one, activate it from the graveyard, steal this, and attack. Right, try to steal that. Now I stole this because it will negate the one in the graveyard. So but sadly the battle is still negated. So and he scoops. Alright, this guy was playing Labyrinth. I'll admit this was a terrible Labyrinth player. He did very bad, but still I'm showing it because it was a good duel for this deck specifically. So we have a very good hand. Look, any hand that has a starter and Illusionist in the hand is very good. So Door Guide for Sangan, it gets negated. To be honest, I don't remember what I'm gonna do from here. Alright. Yeah. Small world, but I really don't remember what I did from this point. King of the Swarm. Oh wait, I think I know what I'm gonna do. Okay. So I'm gonna get Polymerization. Fuse these two. Yeah, okay. That's another thing about this deck. It's not easy. Like, you need to play it for a really long time to find lines like this out of the blue. Like, this is not a combo that you just look at the deck and think, yeah, that's something I can do. You wouldn't even consider it. So Crystron Rosenix for this. Next Spider, so we can have 2 effect monsters. Bread a Plant, and now we have the materials and the means to fuse. So Millennium-Eyes Restrict. Attempt to steal this, nice. This to steal this, so I can attack over this. Of course, he can't target any of my monsters because Mud Dragon. So if he did have any interruptions, he couldn't use it here. We'll also steal this. Right, he attempts, we steal, and he scoops. I'm pretty sure. Yep. So I think that's enough replays for now. I didn't get to show Rescue Cat because it wasn't shown in any of the replays I had saved, but it's the most simple one here. You normal summon, tribute to special summon Cerberus and Mystical Sheep, link into Anaconda, and use these 2 as material from the graveyard with Relinquished Fusion to fusion summon this guy. You will also have this guy in the graveyard as interruption. I think, I believe that this is, as good as it could get. I'm still waiting for the Exodia cards that were announced. The Millennium cards. They could kinda search Millennium-Eyes Illusionist. But I'm not sure if they will be worth it, because they still don't have any way to fusion summon, so they might not be the best. They also kinda just summon a monster on the field. They might be useful as material for Bread a Plant and searching Illusionist, but that's about it. There is nothing else. I also tried to see if I could get use out of this, the new Chimera stuff, specifically this guy, because he has a really good effect. Of course I would summon this, use this effect to special summon this. You can add 1 level 4 beast monster and a Chimera fusion, so he gets a monster and a fusion. If there was if this mystical beast, for example, he's a beast, if he was level 4, this would have been insane, because I would special summon this guy, get Mystical Sheep and the fusion spell. So this guy would be a 1-card combo to fusion summon Millennium-Eyes. Sadly, it did not work. I also looked around, like, what if any of the other fusions could be or could help me get this guy? It's not possible, so can't really include any of this here. Anyway, that's all. I hope you like this deck. Of course, as I said, it's not a very strong deck, so don't expect a lot. It's just a fun deck that, if you want to be able to summon Millennium-Eyes Restrict more consistently, this is the deck for you.